Hello, everyone. And can you believe it that it is February already? We are on the 2nd of February with an amazing guest. And since 2023 has already begun, I cannot explain exactly how January has passed so quickly. Is it maybe time for change? This is the word of the day for me. I have been having some interesting breakthroughs, but it's not about me today because I have an amazing guest, someone that you have listened to not too long ago, an amazing author, an amazing athlete. We have Claire Gibbons with us all the way from the UK. And besides all this, you are going to find more about Claire in just a few seconds. She is one of the co-authors of the amazing Notes to My Younger Self book that has published not too long ago. You are going to find the links in the description of our talk, in the description of this video if you are watching us on YouTube, because the amazing and the fascinating Glenn Marsden just keeps on putting me in contact with the most amazing people out there. Just a bit about my amazing guest. On episode number 65, Find Your Purpose. And I come up with this wonderful title with just a few minutes before my talk with Claire. I was just thinking, what is the best way to introduce this amazing lady? And as I read more about her biography and who she is and how she managed to find her purpose from her pain, you will be amazed. So stick with us until the end to find out more. Just a bit about Claire. Her career in fitness began from her own trauma with a life-changing injury. She had a severe disc herniation that caused spinal cord damage and a rare condition called Cauda Equina Syndrome, which unfortunately left lasting effects. Now, I'm telling you these details because if you are going to see Claire's amazing social media, you will not think for a second that she had ever had any health issues in her life, because she is the most active person that you could ever imagine. Claire, welcome. What a privilege to have you with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a real honor to be talking to you today.
Claire, your story is unbelievable. I only shared a very small fraction of your amazing path.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us, how did you get to have such an amazing career in fitness despite your health condition? What happened?
Well, as you just explained, I had a disc herniation back in, it was 2016. And it caused, as you said, the rare condition called Cauda Equina Syndrome. So what that means is the spinal cord gets crushed completely by the disc that's herniated, um, essentially cutting off the blood flow, and to a point where if it's not dealt with within a certain time frame, it can lead to paralysis if it's not dealt with timely, shall we say. So it was a bit of a race against time, I think, as I put in my chapter, that it was kind of like, wow, like we have to deal with this now. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock to the system, shall we say. So I had that condition. The operation that was carried out took the disc away, and then unfortunately had gone too far to the point where certain effects were left after the injury. Now, I was counting my blessings that I could still walk. I obviously it could have gotten to that point of paralysis, so I was very, very grateful that they operated and obviously stopped that from happening. However, it has left lasting effects with So like I get numbness in the back of my legs. I've got like nerve pain that you get, and other things that's left behind that is a daily battle really. But I suppose it's as you said though, like find my purpose. That was after that, I was kind of like, well, where do you even begin? Where do you begin to sort of deal with this situation to a point? You know, you've had the operation, they've stopped that, but you still have this completely life-changing event that's happened that you have to work through. Or if you don't, you go the other way and you just end up, go into a really dark place. Now, I started to until I had to have physiotherapy through the hospital, obviously, because the condition. So they took me into the pool initially, and just started doing very, very small gym sessions with me to build like core strength and things like that. Excuse me. And then gave me programs of my own. So I went to my local gym and I just said, well, this is what I need to do. I don't really know much about the gym. I've never really been that much of a gym fanatic in my life, to be honest. I've done netball as a child, yes, and other things, but it was never really something that I'd been into as such. So I went to the gym and they wrote like a little bit more of a program for me. Um, and it was this particular one day I was walking out and I heard this music playing in one of the studios as I was walking out, and I thought, what is that? Like that music is amazing, and I'm a big lover of music. Like it's something that's always resonated with me. Like music just takes me into if you need time out in my head, music is my thing to go to. So yeah, so I heard the music and I went, oh, what's this then? So I went in to have a little nose in the door and I could see that they were doing Body Pump, Les Mills Body Pump. And it had literally only just come to the club, something like that. So I thought, oh, I might give that a try. So I spoke to my surgeon a couple of days later and said, would I be able to do this? Because I really like the look of it and I want to try. And she was like, look, she said, I've pretty much got to a point where you're great now. You're signed off from me. Like whatever you do, like speak to your physio. As long as they're happy with it, go for it. So yeah, I tried Body Pump the week after speaking to my physio, and it just changed everything. I was like, I absolutely love this. I want to do this like all the time. um, but obviously, music was my go-to initially. But it's something that helped to build me physically stronger, but the mental health benefits of it as well. It completely took me out of my own mind for an hour and just thought, well, I wasn't thinking about all the lasting effects and all these things I had to deal with. I was just enjoying that. Even if I just enjoyed one track and I thought, okay, I feel a bit tired, I'll go. It was just finding that thing that I needed to take me away from everything that was going on in my head at the time. So that's where it all stemmed from. Yeah, I heard music. And that was the main thing. uh, but yeah, after I tried one class, that was it. I was like, yeah, this is for me. I love this, and I wanted to be that person on the stage teaching others like how amazing this program is. Yeah, so that's where it stemmed from.
What an amazing impact it had on you. And I'm so happy that you mentioned mental health. These two words, I believe, are vital, critical in today's society. I think that we are all so stressed to a point that we are just used to it. It's normal. Who isn't
Yeah,
stressed nowadays? But let's not go into this normalcy that can really be kept
yeah,
under control. So I
yeah.
would like to ask you, Claire, what
Mm-hmm.
would you say that helped you the most with moving and music? Do you think that you realize that you are again in control of your body, or what did you feel when you began those amazing body pumping sessions with Les Mills?
Oh yeah. I suppose it was at first it was I just enjoyed the music and I love music and it always makes me feel better in myself. But then because the music was kind of a distraction as such to like my own head saying, oh, you can't do that. You're not physically able to do that. So I think it helped me to realize, like, distract me enough to, like, so that my body would just act naturally as it could. So at the time, obviously, I was probably about a year into like my rehab, I suppose, by then, maybe a little bit more than that. But I'd only really gotten to a point where I suppose like I was feeling comfortable enough then to get out and do things like this, you know, like it scared me initially. So I was like, oh, like, you know, that your head takes over. So I think the fact that the music and the movement together was so vital to just, it just, I think I did feel like my body was capable of more than I knew it was capable of. And that felt good. It really felt good to know that, like, actually, your head tells you can't because you're scared and fear kicks in and things like that. And then, yeah, it ended up helping me get over that fear of, oh, yeah, but what if you hurt your back again? Or what if you do this again? You know, it's all those little things that, you know, you're constantly questioning yourself and your abilities because of that injury. And yes, okay, you have to be careful to a point, but there comes a day when your rehab is kind of, you have to get moving more to help your rehab further. You know, you reach a plateau and you have to sort of try and push past that a little bit. So yeah.
Wow. How did you handle fear? Because yeah, there's one thing with fear that we all know, it kind of starts building more and more. You start with just one worry, one thought. Well, what if I hurt myself again, as you said? And then you have all these Hollywood horror movie scenarios that I
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
catch myself doing once in a while. How did you manage to make fear your friend, so to say?
Oh, that's a good question. I suppose in the end, like, I was constantly fighting that fear physical battle. So I had the fear battle and I had the physical battle. The physical battle became easier then, this obviously because my body was getting stronger from doing what I was doing, having the physio, doing these classes. So because the physical was getting better, I think it helped me to realize that actually that fear that I was creating for myself was, I needed to change that mindset then. So I spoke to like a few people in the gym and just said, look, you know, I'm really fearful of this, that, and the other. And they were like, I get where you're coming from, but like your physio has said to you, like they're more than happy for you to do this. All you need to do is just know your limits. So I suppose that's how I handled the fear. Was I got to a point where like I knew what my body was capable of at that point in time. And then I started to realize it for myself, I guess, in the end, that actually the fear was just me in my head. It wasn't anything that was going to happen. You know, I wouldn't, that accident, that injury was not going to happen again just because I was doing a class in there. You know what I mean? So it kind of got to that point where I was like, I'm creating my own fear. And I just kept going. I just kept going because I thought, well, if I stop, then fear has won, and I didn't want fear to win. So yeah.
Wow, I love this, Claire. I love this. So if I stop, I let fear win and I don't want it to win. I love this. Okay, I'm going to use this as well. I think this is so powerful. And we sometimes just, I think in 99% of the cases, it's fear that cripples us, not the physical condition, because it all starts from here.
Mm,
So I'm so
yeah.
happy that you had the vision of being the person on stage that is conducting the class. Oh my God, you need to tell us. How did you get to be the person on stage? What was the process? How did you
Oh,
feel?
well, I got quite friendly with the instructor herself, lovely lady called Abby. We used to do, pretty much used to do all of her classes. I think it was 3 times a week was her classes. So I used to do most of hers. And there was a lady called Rian that used to do a Tuesday as well. So I used to go to hers if I couldn't go to Abby's. And sometimes like The Tuesday worked better for me with work, so I would always switch it up between Rhian's and Abby's classes. But I got quite friendly with both of them. And I just remember a couple of them saying that, like, wow, like you've got so strong over the last like few months. It's really good to see, type thing. So I was quite happy about that. And then the group fitness manager was actually a lady called Mel, who knew my mother, and it was it was just a case of, I walked up to Mel one day and I said, do you think I could get into this? And she was like, what, you want to go on, you want to be an instructor? I was like, I do, yeah. It's like, how do I go about it? And she just went, well, yeah. She said, all you need to do is this and this. And like, she just helped me through the process of getting my level 2 in tow so that I could teach. And I went to body pump training then, I think about a month after I'd spoken to Mel. And that was it. Yeah, it all went from there, and I've never looked back. Um, that was, I think, May 2019 when I finally got to my own body pump training. So it took me a good 3 years
Wow.
to get the confidence to build not only my body but my mental strength, I think, to be able to actually finally go, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So it took a while, but yeah, it's a fair while ago now. 3.5 years. Blimey, eh?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is your fourth year of being
Yeah.
a trainer. This is amazing. Well done, Claire. You have conquered yourself to such a great level. And can you please share with us what is your purpose with the students that come to you? How do you see the people that want to learn this amazing activity?
Yeah, I suppose for me it's one of two there's two things to it. So the first thing is, obviously there's people out there that have gone through injuries, not the same one, but they've had other injuries, or they've got a physical health condition that may restrict them in some way, but they still want to be able to move, to exercise, to keep their body as strong as it can be, to obviously, and it ends up making your everyday life easier when you can utilize some of these programs, like, because for instance, some of it is functional strength, like where it makes things like walking, sitting, standing, running, whatever you want to do, like general everyday activities that we do that we don't think about usually. These programs help to increase the those activities being that a lot easier for people. So that, firstly, physically, is, I want people to realize that there is a way. Like, I used to think, oh, how am I ever going to do that? Like, my back's going to be crippled for the rest of my life. I can't do this, I can't do that. But I just want to help people to realize that, it's, everybody is able to do a certain element of it, even if it's not everything, but it's for everybody. There's, the impact abilities are for all people. So it's designed for everybody to still be able to do this. And secondly, the mental benefits for it. Oh my goodness, there is no greater feeling than when you get to, like, say, the end of a track with amazing music, and at the time, halfway through, you're kind of like, wow, like, this is so hard. Your head is saying, I can't do this. Enough is enough, and you get to the end of that track and you go, wow, I did that. And like, I feel amazing. And you just feel so good. Get those endorphins flowing, and it just changes how you think, how you feel, everything. It's a wonderful feeling. I can't explain it. If people haven't tried it, they need to try it to experience it for themselves.
Oh my God, you got me so curious. Now I'm super curious. I love going to the
Good.
gym, and I took a
Yeah.
break from going to the gym. I need to resume this ASAP because the power
Mm.
of movement and being physically active, Claire, as you say, and as
Oh.
I'm seeing you, you're beaming. You're just so extremely happy and passionate.
Mm.
Nothing beats this. Definitely
Yeah.
100%. So important.
Yeah. And you've experienced that for yourself, right? So, like,
Oh
you
my
understand where I'm
God.
coming from. So yeah,
Yes. And
it's an
I can
incredible feeling.
relate. I can completely relate to what you said. a few months ago, when I began going to the gym once again, I felt that I can just not, I'm not going to lift these weights. It's just too much. I mean,
yeah,
why would I do this? It just doesn't make any sense. And then at one point I said, well, people are advising me to do this for a reason. So let me just kind of be coachable for
yeah,
once. Let me just listen. I kind of stepped out of my ego for a bit. And you're right, at the end
yeah,
of the session of me just lifting those weights, I felt, okay, I can
yeah,
conquer
of
the
course.
world. I have been
Yeah,
conquering my mind. So as you said,
yeah,
you had all these thoughts that, okay, I can't do it. It's too hard. And we are the only ones that we get to be. Oh my God, we just stand in our way and we think it's normal. We think we're trying to protect ourselves. And this is what fear does. So I
yeah.
wanted to ask you, Claire, what great lesson, if any, do you think that fear maybe taught you through the years, through the process of being a trainer?
I suppose it's a really interesting but hard question at the same time. But um, fear almost as you said, I turned it into my friend somehow. Like I utilized that to be my greatest power. I found something that everybody has got this, not just me, but everybody has got something deep inside there, that fire that burns, and sometimes it gets almost extinguished or maybe just patted down a little bit. And fear does that; it almost takes that fire away. But then, yeah, if you can, fear's taught me that, like, yes, it's useful to a point where you protect yourself, as you said, but then it's also that, how can I say it? It's just sometimes it really is just your most powerful weapon that you can come and you can utilize that to be anything you want to be. If you try, or if you really want it, fear can be turned into something that's just so incredible. Like, I mean, I even had that fear of I can't do Les Mills body combat. I've had no martial arts experience. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm never going to be fit enough for that. My back's never going to cope with it. This was after I'd been teaching pump for probably 6, 7 months by then. I'd overcame fear to a certain point, but then that fear also kicked in again then a little bit further down where I went, no, I can't do that program. It's too hard. It's too hard. It's too hard. It is the greatest thing I ever did, going to do body combat. It is, oh my gosh, like everybody who knows me knows how much I love it. It's my one, it's probably my fave, my one true passion. Just because it makes you feel so empowered. And I think that's what fear has taught me, is that we've all got something in here to fight for, and fear is actually just trying to sometimes extinguish that, sometimes, but we can utilize that, if that makes sense.
Oh my God, it does. And I've been writing here some
You have, wow.
amazing nuggets of wisdom. And I advise everyone watching and listening to us to get a pen and a piece of paper. I always tell this to our friends that are wanting to learn some amazing new things to implement, because your story and how you describe fear, although I'm a fear specialist, it just gives me some amazing new ideas. And, I'd say, well, what more can I learn about fear? I've been studying for so many years, but here you come with this amazing, fresh approach. And I'm so grateful that you mentioned to utilize fear. We need to use it to our advantage because it's in us. Fear is probably one of the most natural feeling that we could ever feel.
Yeah.
It's part of
Oh, of
being a
course.
human. And
Yeah.
the last time we checked, we're still humans. So for sure, we are
Yeah.
going to feel
Yeah.
it. So why not use it to our advantage? Like we would maybe say, use the weather, you can't really change the weather. You can't really get rid of fear. And it's not about wanting to get rid of fear. It's using what you have to make you stronger, to make you better. And I love your approach of keeping that fire inside of you lit. You need to keep it and you need to feed it continually. And you did this by being an amazing advocate of the Imperfectly Perfect campaign. I know you love it. I love it too. Who doesn't love the
Yeah.
Imperfectly Perfect campaign? Can
Oh,
you please
wow.
tell us what this amazing organization means to you? How was it writing in the Notes to My Younger Self book? How is it to be
Oh,
close to Glenn's amazing energy?
oh, it was incredible because I mean, initially supporting the Imperfectly Perfect campaign literally came from my passion as an instructor. Because I noticed that Rachel Newsham, who's a combat director, was doing a webinar with Glenn. So I was like, oh, that'd be interesting. And I came across this campaign. I was just like, imperfectly perfect. I thought, well, like, how can you describe that better? Like, I've got flaws. My body's let me down in the past, and it's still there, some of the effects, but I'm being myself out there with that. Like, as in the instructing, some people haven't got a clue that I've ever had that injury, as you said before, you know. And I just love the fact that you could be so real about what you were thinking, what you were feeling. Like, you know, it's okay to not be at your top form every day. It's okay to have times where you feel like, oh, like I feel just totally rubbish today. And you know, and get together and talk to people. So the Imperfectly Perfect campaign is just, yeah, I love the fact that it talks so much about the stigma of mental health being just like taking that away. Like mental health is in line with physical health. Like you can't have one without the other. Like your physical health goes down, your mental health starts going down. Vice versa. If your mental health is not great, sometimes that can project people's, you know, have injuries. They feel it in their body. Some people feel it in their body, aches and pains. You know, it's all in line with each other. Um, so yeah, like learning more about Glenn's journey and how he started it and everything was just incredible. Like I'm writing in the book. Well, what an honor, like to be a part of it, and to share my story with the world, which was, again, it was quite a little bit of fear kicked in because it was like, well, everybody that reads this book is going to read that story. It's like, oh, but my thought process was, if one person reads that and thinks, oh, wow, do you know what? I was ready to give up today and I don't want to now because of that, then that's all that mattered to me. So the writing in the book was just such a empowering, inspiring, just so powerful, like really powerful process. And the end goal, I think we've already seen that it has done that. You know, we've gone out there and then people have read it and gone, do you know what? I had no clue. Absolutely no clue. Even some of my gym buddies have come up to me and said, you had that happen to you 6 years ago or 7 years ago. I'm like, yeah. They were like, you'd never know. Like you'd never know. So it's incredible to know that people have read it and gone, whoa. So, and you know, and not just my story, like some of the other ladies, oh my goodness, their stories are just outstanding. So it's been incredible, and I would not change it for the world. I'm really glad I did it. As fearful as it was at the time, I'm glad I pushed ahead and went with it. And Glenn's energy is just, his passion is probably what I feel for my programs, and what I do is like his passion for the campaign is just, it's unbelievable. Like you see it in every breath, every conversation you have with him, you know, it's all there. So he's an incredible human. He really is.
Wow, thank you for sharing this amazing journey with us. And I began reading the book. I have it on my phone as an ebook, and
Wow.
it shook me. I read quite some pages already, and it truly shook me hard
Mm.
because you just don't know what you don't know. You think you
Yeah.
know it all. You think, well, I see this person on social media. They're active, they're fun, they're engaging. People say amazing things about them. but we just don't know anything. And then
Mm.
you come and share your story, how you conquered yourself in such a way that you not only healed yourself, because to me and to anyone watching from the exterior, you are in this perfect, amazing shape that no one can deny. However, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel now after you have conquered yourself, after you have met your goal of being a trainer in the body combat? Is there more to come? Are you content with what you achieved so far? Where do you stand now?
Um, I suppose it's I've got a couple of things in mind. Like I've always, my main thing is I just want to get better at my craft to help my crew better, like my communities, my local communities, you know, my crew that I see, you know, like every Sunday morning, my people I see every Tuesday evening or whatever time it might be. Like I there's nothing I look forward to more than, and this sounds crazy because I was not an early morning person at all, but there's nothing better to me than getting up on a Sunday morning and going up to the club to do my classes and just to see my people and to know that every person in there is coming because they have something that they want to achieve themselves and I'm helping them to achieve that. So whether that is they want to achieve like a certain physical goal, they want to learn more about the martial arts side or with the body pump, with the weight side of stuff, you know, whether it's that, whether it is literally because they're just like, oh my gosh, I need a break from my family. I need to get out for an hour, you know, all these things that everybody's there for their own reasons. Um, so I enjoy nothing more than being the best I can be at my job, my craft, just so that I know they get a great experience. And that's sort of what I went into last year was I actually went for auditions for the UK training team, and I did get up to the sort of third stage, which was really really good. So who knows? I might think about that further, maybe. But also I've been I've been thinking about it for years as well, but the pandemic hit and it kind of delayed it for a while. But I've been looking to go into the healthcare side of things as well, where especially the paramedic side of stuff, because I personally had that experience in the back of the ambulance where I was terrified, where I just thought, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going to happen. But that I remember the person in the back being so calming, and we had such a great conversation and lots of joking around, and he just made me feel so comfortable, and I just kind of I relaxed and I not forgot about it, but it made everything feel like, oh, okay, well, he's really cool, he's calmed me down, I feel good now, I'm all right. So I want to be able to do that for other people, like to, even if it's just for 10 minutes, 1 minute, whatever it might be, just to, I want to be that person that can just have that general conversation with someone and just go, do you know what? You might be feeling like this is the end of everything you've ever thought of right now, but it will lead to something new. That like that sort of thing, you know, and it's I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, so I would love to just be that person for others. Um and I just want to give people the best experience they can in class. Like there's nothing like a great group fitness class. We all are like a family, you know, like you know, I know pretty much most of the names of people in my Sunday morning. We go for a coffee afterwards. Some of us, you know, like some of us have become good friends, you know, outside the gym as well, not just in the gym. So it's yeah, that's where I'm headed. I'm sort of got those two things on the go at the minute. So I'm taking my first steps, and I'm going back to college in September to do the access course to get me hopefully to the university course. So yeah, I know.
Oh my God, I am truly thrilled for you, Claire. This has been a major transformation for you in all ways. Not a morning person. Now you can't wait to get up on a
Yeah.
Sunday morning. This,
Yeah.
this is amazing. This is such a completely new lifestyle that you have developed. And I
Mm.
love what you said about healthcare. Oh my God, we really need very calm and loving and understanding people in these circumstances where people are so scared. And I'm so happy that you got to experience this very nice human that told you, okay,
Yeah.
it's going to be okay. It's not the
Mm.
end of the world. Very
Yeah.
happy that you had this.
Yeah. It's just something that I think, because I've personally felt that experience of both things. So with the paramedic, he made me feel amazingly calm, and everything sort of felt
Yeah.
okay. I'll just take it every step as it comes, and then getting to this point where I'm an instructor myself, and then I was like, but I still want to do that as well. And I've been wanting to do it for years, but obviously the pandemic hit, and like they completely shut down universities, colleges, whatever for ages, didn't they? And then last year was like the first year that they had like a big influx of applications, so it was like massive competition last year. So yeah, so but I'm taking the first steps. I'm taking the first steps. So yeah, here we
Wow.
go. New journey.
Wow, I can't wait to see more of what you achieve, Claire, because this is going to be amazing. Yet another wonderful step in your transformation. I can't
Hmm.
wait to hear from you how amazing it is to give people support from another side of life.
Yeah.
This is going
Mm.
to be amazing. Well done, and
Mm.
congratulations for everything that you
Thank
achieved,
you.
Claire. This is
Thank
amazing.
you. And of
And
course, many more classes to come, and many more
oh,
teachings, and
yeah.
many more launches with my crews, and my team teaching with my fellow instructors. So yeah, that's something I don't want to give up either. That it's an incredible thing. So
So we can expect to see many amazing things on your feed on the social media as much as you
yeah.
want to share, definitely. And since we have been talking about this amazing book, the Pay It
Mm.
Forward series, the notes to my younger self, we
Yeah.
don't want to mention too much because we want people to go and get the book and pay it forward. However,
Yes,
can you
indeed.
please share with us what is one note to your younger self that you would like to share with us today?
One note to my younger self. Oh, what did I write? I'm trying to think of the few that I wrote. Um, I think the main thing was that I just told myself that to trust myself, and to know that, and to trust that everything was going to get not better, but I can't even think of the words I used now. It was basically telling myself that everything will be okay. Like you will get to a point where um you've overcome all of these things, because other events in your life have already prepared you in a certain way, and to just trust yourself and take it piece by piece. Like everything will come together in the end. It's not going to happen overnight. So be patient, be kind to yourself, and just trust yourself.
Wow, I love this. Trust yourself, be patient with yourself, and be kind to yourself. I
Yeah.
think that when we do this, we are already winners, Claire. We have
Mm.
already won big in life, because at the end of the day, we just can never have all the answers to everything. We do our best, right, with everything that we do, because if
Yeah.
we could have done more, my God, we would have done more 100%. And it's sometimes really easy after a minute, after 5 minutes, we're just looking back and saying, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did I say this? But
Mm.
wait a minute, you were not in that exact very same second when it happened. So be compassionate with yourself and understand that
Yeah.
next time you'll do it better. And I love what you said just now. Look back in the past and just take the good lessons from
Mm.
the circumstances that have already prepared you for this
Yeah.
challenging situation. Let's just take
Mm.
note of this amazing advice to look back at our experience that we sometimes take
Mm.
for granted. We say, oh, it's nothing. Maybe someone else would have done it even better than I did. But no, don't compare yourself. Just take note
Yeah.
of everything that you have achieved so far, because let's face it, we truly are heroes in our lives. Maybe we just don't see it like this sometimes. We say it's normal, of course, everyone does it, but no, not everyone does it. And I think it's really important to look back and just give ourselves a clap for everything that we have done so far for us. And you have come such a long way, Claire. Oh my God, this has been truly transformational for you to say that.
It's I suppose it's like I've always said that like everybody is going to get a time in their life where they are tested, and it it could be a small test, it could be a big test, it doesn't matter. Those tests are still happening for a reason. They happen to help you learn from them. Look, we all have to learn from certain tests in our life, and I just somehow managed to find the mindset that I turned trauma into something wonderful. And I was really lucky to find fitness. That's how, if I hadn't found fitness, it probably would have been a completely different story. But yeah, I found fitness, and it saved me from where I was going and helped me to get where I wanted to go.
Or maybe fitness found you through the music.
Maybe. I think either way, it's just if things happen for a reason, if it's meant to be, and a good friend of mine said this, and you know him, is that anything that's meant to be will never pass you by.
Oh,
So
exactly.
yeah, Glenn's always saying that. He loves that. He loves that. He's like, whatever's meant to be won't pass you by. So
Yeah, and
and
he
he's
is
so right.
exactly, he is 100% right. And I'm so happy that you got to see trauma as such a great blessing, and it just kept on going and kept on going. And Claire, my last question for you today is, someone's young at the beginning
Yeah,
of their journey. They
yeah.
want to make it big, maybe in business, maybe in other areas of their life, but we mostly attribute success to business. What would you say that the best advice for this young person would be? What should they focus on more than anything?
Um, I think if you're passionate about something, it truly helps to drive you to find like a deeper sort of as I've said, that fire. Like if you're passionate about something and you have that fire for something, like whatever it might be, it could be that, you want to be, I don't know, you want to go and work with animals, you want to go and do accounting, you want to go and be an instructor, you want to go and do this. Like if something means a lot to you, like you somehow find that extra, like that drive to go forward. And again, I think it's just trust yourself, listen to your gut instincts. Your gut instincts tell you so much about yourself without you even knowing it. They do. They're amazing. Like I wish I'd listened to my gut instincts more, but there you go. You learn these lessons as you go on life, isn't it? So
Oh, exactly, Claire.
yeah, trust yourself. I would always say trust yourself. That is one thing that is, I think, you kind of always like, not that you shouldn't take advice off other people, but it's that thing of like, oh, like sometimes somebody might say something to you because they're like, oh well, I want to do that, so I don't want you succeeding in that, so I'll like, they might say, oh no, you wouldn't be really good at that, you tried something else. It's like, just trust what you feel is right for you. Like you just know, like I knew as soon as I walked into that body pump class, I was like, this is everything I've been looking for in the last couple of months, not to help me just get physically stronger, but mentally stronger. So definitely trust yourself. And if you find a passion for something, go with it and just enjoy every part of that journey as it's all there. It happens for a reason, good and bad.
Wow, love it. Thank you for sharing this with us, Claire. Keep the fire going. And yes, the gut instinct, it's there. We know it.
Yeah.
It's there to guide us 100%. So let's use fear, as you said, as our friend. Let's use it to our advantage and get some amazing lessons and build trauma as something special, something that not only you can learn from, but the whole community that you are so beautifully impacting, Claire. I can feel your passion and fire all the way from Romania.
All the way from there.
Yeah.
Good.
So this has been unbelievable.
Thank you.
Claire, before we go, I am pretty
Yes.
sure that everyone wants to know, where can they get in touch with you? Where can they see you? Where can they get this amazing book to read more about your awesome story?
Of course, yeah. So the only social medias I really use are Facebook and Instagram. My Instagram is let's have a look. I can't remember. Honestly, isn't it? Isn't it rubbish when you can't remember your own social medias? This is how much I use some of this. So my social media it's Claire_Gibbons_ on Instagram. I'm just Claire Gibbons on Facebook. However, there is a link from my Instagram to my Facebook on there. So if you wanted to utilize that way, depending on what you're on. The book itself, it can be bought through Amazon. So obviously there's the ebook version. There is a paperback and a hardback version, all at different, obviously, price ranges. What I love about the ebook, though, is that you can buy the ebook for yourself, but you can also put in the basket to buy one for somebody else, as long as you have their email address, and you can then pass that forward. So the whole reason we did that was paying it forward. So I think that's what's wonderful about that. And also with the books themselves, so you can buy one for a friend, and they do come with like a little post-it note that you can leave the book then. So the idea is that you leave the book, say, I don't know, in a coffee shop somewhere, and it's got a note on it saying, this book is for you, read it, love it, pass it forward. And you write your own message in the front of the book, and then just leave it somewhere for someone else to pick up. So it's a lovely idea. That's
amazing.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wonderful. I'm going to add all your links, all of your descriptions, and the information under this audio, under the video, because people will need to hear more and see more of the amazing things that you are doing. I'm loving your stories on Instagram. I'm loving your posts. So vibrant, so full of life. It literally gives me hope, and I'm sure that everyone watching us and listening to us are going to have the same vibe. So get in touch with my amazing guest. And of course, if you are in the UK, go and have a class with Claire. Experience this body pump windmills live on you. I think that, oh my God, when I'm there, we need to meet and I need to experience this, because I don't think we have it in Romania, not yet. So maybe you should let Rachel know.
Oh, there you go. We'll have to have a chat with Rach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, she should be in this part of Europe as well, because I've seen, I'm just super excited and very curious, to be honest, to try it out, because you guys seem so full of life, so happy, vibrant, cheerful, doing the movements. It's so much fun. And yeah, people are going to love it, definitely.
Yeah, it really is. And that's the thing about it, is that exercise is obviously hard. You know, it's never going to be easy. But if you can make it fun, it just takes away the whole, like, oh, I can't do this. When you're having fun, you just don't think about it.
Exactly.
You know, and when you've got the good music and that mixed together, it's just incredible. Yeah. We'll have to have a chat with Rach, definitely. We'll tell her you need it in Romania.
Yes. 100%. And Claire, this has been truly wonderful. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your fire, for just sharing this with us, for this amazing story. And it's admirable how you want to do more, you want to help more, you want to serve more. Best wishes with you being in the healthcare system.
Yeah.
I am very excited for you, and I
Thank
cannot
you.
wait to have another
I'll
talk
keep you
with you in a
posted.
few months for sure.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted, no problem. Thank you so much for having me though. It's been incredible, and I always enjoy talking to you. Our chat before Christmas was amazing. So it's been lovely. So
Thank you
and
so
thank you
much,
for
Glenn.
following our stories and the book.
My pleasure, a great honor.